fed up of living, cause the only way of winning in this superficial world is sinning. In a world where the mix is what society's got us caged up like a fox. Trying to get our us caged up like a fox. Yeah, the one of us to rise high and really cross. Because what's to do to keep our minds lost, keep our minds lost. She's full of those hanging out on the blocks. I'm here getting searched by the cops. Stereotypes gang members, now their names in the system, looking for work, but it's hard to get jobs. And the only option to make money is work, and here's reverse psychology to take what we got. The boys are leeches, and know the trust. We're everything, and they think they take us, we're falling into, but what they don't trust. We'll find time one day, just believe and trust. Cause the only way in the superficial is sin. I fed up of living, cause the only way of winning in this superficial world is sinning.
Yeah, listen, you was fragile and visualize you. My soul, you were decorated, the duty soul with thoughts and bones. Innocence with no protection, I was rejected. Innocence because it's weak, so I get the message. No issues within my speech, may have you threatened. But man, you go through the streets, I'm really well spoken. Vigilant with visualizing, that's my focus. Why this birds be singing for some further bread? I utilize my name for the seasons left. I've been trying to have a lot of games from the lost is left. I'm inclined, the mic sonically, if he's the rest. But until then, all I can say the rest. I'm living blue, that's right. I'm a chick running around with the speak, yeah. Scooby-Doo, yeah. Sing up off, play a lullaby while he shed his last cry. Cause he's a record before he tries.
Chef was a cool guy. The chef disappeared. Darren chopped him up. There he went. Sticking to the agenda. The topic. To not for the agenda, you can't come with the line to be active. That is facts. You got him deported back to Jamaica. Have you seen that cricket that's coming from the boat? The ferry, yeah, the pole boy. Yeah, boy. I wouldn't mind living on the boat. Fucking like cunts there. You don't have to pay no taxes living on the boat. Hey, nothing. Give me a boat to live on, man. Nothing. That's all right.
Cause the only way of winning is
I got one of the elders. I've made him figure out how to come live. Yeah, it's good to show him on the top. Alright, just talking about reparations. Like you just say reparations about like you take like when you repair a car, like they might replace your bonnet like different bonnet from a different car, but it's more about restoring and it's like what's already got no repairing. Something like that. The same way to talk about the they are not yeah, that's the arm in it, that's the G. I change souls for the elementary. The high priest is there to console. While my company takes control, exercise on time than a black hole. The influence of an old soul. Old souls have no beginning or end. Sometimes it's hard for us to blend. Cause we don't follow any trends. We don't die, we only transcend. My mental is unorthodox. The best way to get to the wife, they be shutting down like the boondocks, like Samsung. I'm from a Goldilocks, 90s, from a Photoshop, from a voice box, of course, deployed life to life of life. So I life, but like the crisis of it, that has been within my mind. My hero pretends to be the victim, but I destroy those forces with my wisdom. And emotions facilitates my soul to be risen. I shut down for the power system. I've been off the knowledge of mysticism and making the correct decisions. Your bios will make you clear of your own intuition. Success. All souls have no beginning or end. Sometimes it's hard for us to blend, cause we don't follow any trends. We don't die, we only transcend. There's no limit to my spirit, but more still depth to my lyrics. The instrument can't mimic my flow, so their bias in the way they crave it. Like I don't understand words and innovations, sound keep cryptic. How could their guides me through this illusion? Pull my soul to escape confusion. In conclusion, my spirit is more mighty than you confusion. For those who don't understand the last bar, but it's metascience, connecting with genuine all souls to form the greatest alliance. How we transform us into science, like the pyramids, receive stolen product from Orion. Always have faith and keep trying, trying in the shroud. Everybody needs some guidance. Tune into this frequency, and you'll hear what one is provided. Harmony and divinity will be what's coincided. All souls have no beginning or end. Sometimes it's hard for us to blend, because we don't follow any trends. We don't die, we only transcend. All souls have no beginning or end. Sometimes it's hard for us to blend, because we don't follow any trends. We don't die, we only transcend. All souls have no beginning or end. Sometimes it's hard for us to blend, because we don't follow any trends. We don't die, we only transcend. All souls have no beginning or end. Sometimes it's hard for us to blend, because we don't follow any trends. We don't die, we only transcend. All souls have no beginning or end. Sometimes it's hard for us to blend, because we don't follow any trends. We don't die, we only transcend. All souls have no beginning or end. Sometimes it's hard for us to blend, because we don't follow any trends. We don't die, we only transcend. All souls have no beginning or end. Sometimes it's hard for us to blend, because we don't die, we only transcend. Transcend.
It's all men as well. Gang members who stabbed innocent Afghan. The King of England, isn't it? That's fair. So it's not my king. Why do I have to refer to him as a king? If I have to, this is why masculine black.
All right. Now, before we start, we first must give thanks and praises to Amun Ray, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, El Elyon, El Shaddai, Yahweh, Adonai, Marduk, Melchizedek, Al Kadir, Usa, Uset, Heru, Anu, Enki, Ma'at, Ptah,
Rastafari, Haile Selassie, Meta Science, to mommy, to daddy, to granny, to granddad, to the ancestors, and to the most high. Bismillahi ar-Rahmani ar-Rahim. La ilaha illallah. Greetings, my spiritual warriors and my meta science soldiers and my freedom fighters. My name is the High Priest Amun. And welcome to the Meta Science Ministries Reasoning and Fellowship Show via Omega FM Radio.co.uk, aka 104.1 FM, and also on YouTube and Instagram Live. If you want to see the High Priest Someone L live and direct in Omega FM Radio.co.uk's headquarters, all you have to do is go onto YouTube. Type in on YouTube search engine Amun L, which is spelled A for Africa, M for magnificent, U for upliftment, N for Nubian, space L, which is spelled E for Elyon and L for love. As you click search, you will see the High Priest Someone Else YouTube channel. Smash that red button that says subscribe. Click the bell icon to be notified when High Priest Someone Else is going live. You done know meta science. Let's go. Also, if you want to see the High Priest Someone Else live and direct in Omega FM Radio.co.uk's headquarters, you can also go onto Instagram Live. Type in on Instagram Live search engine high_priest_720, which is spelled high as in H for hero, I for intuition, G for God, hero underscore priest, which is spelled P for perfect, R for respect, I for intuition, A for Elyon, S for success, T for terrific underscore 720. And as you click search, you will see the High Priest Someone Else Instagram page. Smash that button that says follow, and the High Priest Someone Else will follow you back. You're done know meta science. Now, greetings to Samantha on the Instagram Live. Greetings, good evening to everybody that is locked in on 104.1 FM in London, UK. Shout out to all my kings and queens and gods and goddesses for listening on Omega FM Radio.co.uk, aka 104.1 FM. High Priest Someone Else. Can you imagine? The will of God, the will of the Most High, dragged High Priest Someone Else out of his bed to come onto the radio tonight. We already did a radio show on Monday, and that was an epic one. We started from 11 on the bank holiday weekend, King's Coronation, Monday. We started at 11, and we did a lot of hours, a lot of time, at least 5 hours from 11 till 4. And we had a lot to discuss on the Monday show. And just to highlight what we were talking about on the Monday show was we were talking about Exodus. Is it time to leave UK and go back to Africa and build a compound, build a business, do the thing? You get me? UK, come
go to Africa, Caribbean, and keep it moving. And we had plenty guests on the show, and we never came with a conclusion. No, we never came with a conclusion. We were discussing what are the options. Someone's calling. Peace. Peace. Can you hear me?
Yes, I couldn't hear you. Better science. You good?
Yes, I'm good, King. Hold on. Hold on. Let me plug you in. I've been wondering where have you been, King? You know what I mean?
I'm right. I'm about
You're about.
this.
What do you mean
So
you're
I'm on
about?
my way now, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, you're on air, King, but I'm
But, yeah, but what you're saying there kind of, listen, have to be on the interview of black people, especially in Sudan. You need to recolonize their land. So there's just one India, rather than having north versus south, north where the Arabs are, and south where the Indians are. And what's going on now? The two Arab men who are warring, who are Arab men of Yemenite descent, were fighting there. It's only going to be blacks. The Indians are the only people going to suffer for mental science. So it told to you, it's because when if we were from race, all that land, we have to recover them.
I mean, look, Sudan is over. You get me? I got people calling me right now from Sudan saying that it's getting worse. You get me? They need money. Everything is expensive. You get me? Like money is not a money can't help the situation right now because you get me. They're charging maybe £500 for a bus from Sudan all the way to Egypt or Ethiopia. Them kind of places there. The war generals, the warlords don't want to settle down. You know what I mean? So I've come to the conclusion with that one. That's finished. It's over. It's game over. You get me? Like my wife, she's
And
in.
the people, the analysts are right. The only solution for the war to end, they have to kill both men. I can control with the people who come, the analysts will come up with that proposal. Because that's the only way you're going to find peace.
No, I hear that. I hear that. But
because the South was done by a very, very dark African man by the name of John Garang. He was the darkest head of state. Mostly one of the darkest black men, but that's a million people for you. They're very dark shade, beautiful dark shade, man, I say. But, the origin, as you know, Sudan is a big country the size of USA. Okay? And it borders many, many countries into our place, not Nigeria.
Yeah.
The influx of refugees, I'm afraid, no. You see, we need to stabilize. There have to be stabilization. Because you can't have people here, there, but scattered everywhere. And the people, because the people in Northern Nigeria are Hausa, so they cannot share the same religion as the people in Sudan, which is natural. And another thing is that it's only halfway out to Mecca. You know when they go to the pilgrimage, the Hajj.
Yeah. That is
so and they got the Nigerian settled there. Or so-called Hausa, so Muslim people, rather than return to Nigeria. So now, and what you get now at the borders, sorry?
No, I'm listening.
At the border, Egypt, see how racism comes into it, almost parallel to what happened in Ukraine. They were stopping Nigeria, or Hausa people, Muslim people like that, from coming straight to the border. We are there. We are the original owner of the land. Then they realize if I was there, but I will tell them, listen, man, you are the tenants here. We are the landlord. I'm that kind of a minded person. I tell people the truth. We want to be turning Africa away from my own land.
No, I hear that. I mean, like the Fulani, the Hausa man, some even Yoruba travel to Sudan, obviously for.
No. There's no Yoruba people in Sudan. We don't go as far as that. I'm sorry, maybe they are. No.
Okay. 100% I know there's Hausa man and Fulani man that are there. 100%.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Understand, this is what ties in with Boko Haram. So there must be, in the place called Sudan, there must be an Islamic school called Madrasa where people have been brainwashed. Hence, there's Boko Haram problems. You see the linkage now?
I mean, okay. What do you want to explain? What do you want to say about the Sudanese politics? What do you want?
Look,
on.
the so-called
Before, hold on,
Nigeria.
hold on. We're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna talk about our own politics because we're in a mess as well. You get me?
Okay.
Go on, talk about it. Sudanese politics now. Hello?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. So the Sudanese politics is, that initially there was like a not a general, dictator called Omar Bashir that was ruling the country for like 20 years or more. And then around like 2017, there was a revolution in Sudan because the guy was a dictator. He was had a vice grip on the country. He was doing like the Islamic thing, like the genocide in Darfur, you know what I mean, and making like brainwashing the people to believe that like they're Arab instead of black people. You see what I'm saying? And they were doing the genocide in Darfur. Then all of us, then 2017 or 2018, 2019, there was the revolution. He got locked up by the two. You see the two generals that are fighting right now. They united and created a coup or a militia to overthrow this guy Omar Bashir and put him in jail for war crimes. So when they did that, the country became in anarchy, meaning there was no government, and that it was a transitional government. That the army at the time, which is like the army general that you see, he was ruling the country. With a troop, like with a deal, kind of like a partnership with the RSF. Then like the mission was that by 2020 or about 2020 that they were going to transition into a civilized civil government, but that never happened. And then the people started warring and stuff like that. And as a result, things were getting worse. Hold on. Go on.
It goes all the way back to another leader. I'm talking about. I don't know how old you are before you're probably not old enough. His name was Jafar Mary. Okay. He was a military man as well, Muslim. This is in the 80s and 90s. What documenting. And it's the British as well that after the game, because there was a general called Gordon, and there was a man called Mahdi.
Al-Mahdi.
Mahdi. His grandson became prime minister of Sudan much later. But this was in the 18th century when the General Gordon defeated the Mahdi army.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
The country broke up.
That's Al-Mahdi. That's Al-Mahdi. That's like they were saying the guy was like a prophet. You get me, that?
Yeah. His grandson later became about 30 years ago. His grandson, he became prime minister. Well, he was Arab looking anyway. I wouldn't classify him as African. But the issue is most of these people came from Yemen after Saudi Arabia bombed the whole of Yemen into slavery with the help of the ammunition they bought from America. Okay. Right.
Yeah, it's true.
The fight coming over into Sudan, not fighting with the two warring general. I mean, one of them is supported by the man who controls Libya. General Alpha, because Libya's mashup is broken into various sections.
Oh.
And they managed to acquire stolen weapons. Gaddafi was storing. And it got into the hands of the rebels. ANC supporting one of the general warring. They always literally have to kill both general. That's the only you're going to find us peace in Sudan. I'm afraid.
No, I hear that. What it's like, they're just on like someone was telling me, them man there in Sudan, like they're at the bottom of the bottom. Like right now, like there's no play. It cannot get any worse. That's what they're saying. It cannot get any worse. Once the war is done, it's finished. You get me? It's like start new again from zero. You get me? You see what we're saying? But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on from Sudan because again, I want to talk about Nigeria now because what I've been hearing, what I've been like researching, that like obviously like I'm sick and tired of UK. The economy is not that great. There's not like even today I had a job today, and it's like they've already told me don't come in tomorrow. You know what I mean? And I don't have a job tomorrow. There might be a job coming, but I don't know at the moment. But I'm saying that I'm tired of UK. The weather is not getting any better. Things are getting harder. Things are getting worse. You get me? And I want to go back to Nigeria. Now, the problem with Nigeria is, that we were discussing on Monday, is first of all, we're almost in the same crisis like Sudan because we don't have a president at the moment, and the so-called elected president is a drug lord, and he was a drug cartel boss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard something about that.
And everybody's like, how did he get elected? Because he wasn't even part of the candidates, and he found a way to win the election. So everybody's like kind of on standby for what's gonna go down because no one's trying to say that he was officially elected. You get me?
Yeah.
Now the second thing is in Nigeria, they live in a cashless society right now. You get me? Like they don't use cash. It's hard to send money out there. You can't send Western Union. You can't do anything. You can't send no money. Yeah, the only way you got to know someone that has like a Nigerian.
I told you that. I told you that last time. That's contact the middle people. That's the only way.
Yeah, no, but I'm doing it.
About that a few months ago.
Don't worry, like that's happening, King. You get me? We're letting more people who are listening, who's Nigerian as well, who don't know how to send money. Like no, like if you want to send money, you can ask High Priest. He's got the link. You can go to Peckham, Woolwich, those kind of areas. Camberwell, definitely gonna find it. Maybe near you in Collindale, Hendon, because I know that's a Nigerian community, but that's the upper class Nigerian community. You get me? You know what I mean? Am I lying though?
I wouldn't say so because the West End is poorer. And a lot of Nigerian people there, even calling them, you know. But it's put it this way 50-50. There's well-to-do Nigerians, you know, in England, but I would say majority of them are poor, to be honest with you, from my assessment of their option. Anyway, carry on what you said.
Yeah, so the problem with Nigeria is like, how do we set up shop? Because even like when every day, like I think about it, and when I go work and I see Nigerians in UK, like I obviously ask them the question, like, yo, like what's Nigeria saying? Is does it make sense to go back and build a shop and stuff like that? Some man will be deceitful and say, yeah, do it. But then when I ask them, so why are you here? It's like they don't have anything to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You get it? Like they will tell, like, because how I've been processing it these days is like these people are only saying that because they believe that you're a fool to be going back to Africa or Nigeria to think that you can set up a business. And it's like, go ahead. Go on.
My advice to you, I mean, I don't do well in Lagos. I mean, you have to be hands-on to whatever you set up. You have to be there on to supervise it if you want it to succeed.
Yeah, but
again, if you got the time, maybe if you want to develop something, that my intention is to do a lot of things there. Getting land is no problem, especially in Lagos, on the outskirts of Lagos. But I want to be hands-on. You know, I might just use this place as a holiday, you know, come here from time to time. You know, for it to succeed, you have to, most things, before the founding of things, you have under supervision of the founder. And then when you develop, maybe you can trust people with it. But if you're going to start, you have to be hands-on, fully hands-on in order for it to grow and develop.
Yeah, but this is what you're saying, King. Like, that's what we're saying. Like, I cannot delegate, let's say, a project to my cousin, to my family, because it's like my dad said to me already, oh, like, if you do that, like, it's more or less you're giving away the business to your family. Like, they're not gonna, you know, you can't really trust them. You know what I mean? And it's a shame to say that, but you get me? It's just being realistic. Like maybe it might not cost too much to set up in Nigeria. Maybe a good 10,000. If you have a £10,000, you can buy it. You can build something. You can actually build a compound, like not a big compound, but something that makes sense, that can run. But it's once like what you said, you have to be hands-on. You have to be there at least a good 6 months. You know what I mean? Making sure everything is set up. You get me? And when you're planning to leave, you need to have someone that is going to replace you to oversee the project. You see what I'm saying? And plus, what we said about this cashless society in Nigeria. How does it work? You get me? Because one, the electricity is not good in Nigeria. The internet is not good. So how can you transfer money if there's no infrastructure for cashless society.
Exactly. He says that the place called Nigeria is elite. You know, things are supposed to happen hasn't happened. I mean, look at the current incumbent, Buhari, who's due to leave. He's going back to live with his Boko Haram brothers in Niger. He's retiring to Boko Haram. That's a hotbed of Boko Haram. So you could understand where people are connecting Boko Haram to him, that he's involved in it. He's sponsoring them via the place we were just talking about. You know? You know, I think, you know, to be honest, I'm sorry to say this, I think in the long term, I can't see Nigeria surviving as a nation. It's going to become like Yugoslavia. You know, although this was created, Serbia came out to Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
Montenegro came out to the Croatia. You know, so I mean, it's possible. You know, you go Sudan, we're talking to Sudan, there's Southern Sudan and Northern Sudan. Yeah, so, and I think that might be the long-term solution, because we're going to be talking about what we're talking about now. In the next 20, 30 years, the next generation of black people will be talking about it. So you can't have problems, which is not created by ourselves. You know, I'm blaming the blame on the colonial master, the way they just left things. You know, without even people the permission there, whether they want this or that, they just did it, you know, for self-interest. You know, this is why they, you know, you mentioned the coronation. You know, Charles, everybody's going to leave the Commonwealth. He's an adulterer. Written about the king that's an adulterer. What a joke. And because of that, he's going to lose his empire, whatever is left of it. You know, I'll leave it as that makes sense.
Or you leave it there, yeah?
Yeah, I've said enough. Give somebody else a chance.
All right, King. No worries. Thank you for your contribution. Peace.
Okay, no problem.
Peace, King. Well, yeah, shout out to Ade from Hendon for talking. I don't know what's that. Turn that down. Yeah, shout out to Ade from Hendon for the contribution. So yeah, that was what we were talking about the Monday that just passed. We're talking about, does it make sense to set up shop in Africa? Yeah, we're talking about Egypt as well. Does it make sense? Egypt is a racist place. Let's be real. I've been there. I've seen it. The Sudanese out there, they tell me straight. The Sudanese, even from UK, tell me now that they don't like black people. The way the guy dropped it, you get me? I can't say it on air, but the way he said it, it was just like, yeah, I get it. You get me? You know what I mean? Like, even he's like, you get me? Like, you know, the man that was saying, oh, but they're not black. Like what we were talking about, the Sudanese Arabs, they'll say they're not black. Even once you're in Egypt, you know that you're black. You know that you're a colored person. You get me? Like, you're treated like a second-class citizen. So that was crossed out on the list. And like what we said, we're talking about Sudan. Doesn't make sense. Again, they're in war. The country's finished. Nigeria is too corrupt. You get me? You have to be smart, streetwise, for you to even survive. The police, everything. Like, I was asking my dad, like, because my cousins and that, they sell cars and that. I'm like, I was asking them, do they have trouble selling their cars? And then my dad was like, but it's a problem still when they sell their cars. The customs office, they're coming to the office demanding money that has already been paid. You get me? Like, maybe they're coming armed as well. You know what I mean? Like, proper doing people dirty. You know what I mean? Like, it's a real jungle out there. There's jungle rules. You know what I mean? Here in UK, we've got concrete jungle rules, but out there, there's real jungle rules. You get me? Anything goes out there, and the power's in the money, the power's in the dollars and then the pounds. You get me? Like, more time I look at it, like, if you're gonna make money out there, you more time have to be buying stuff in foreign currency. Like, forget about the naira. The naira at the moment is like around about 900 naira to the pound at the moment. So almost 1,000 naira to the pound. I'm not saying that 900 naira can't do a lot. Still, that 900 naira, you can get a food and that. You know what I mean? A food and a juice. No cap. You will get it. But You get it? Like it's difficult to make that money out there. You know what I mean? The minimum wage, £50 to £100 a month. You get me? So moving on from Nigeria, what were we talking about? We were talking about Gambia now. Because High Priest someone else just came back from Gambia, and we were saying, is that possible? Is that feasible to set up shop in Gambia, to do a project in Gambia? Now the problem with Gambia is, yeah, it's one of the safest countries. Let's be real, yeah. That's a South African country, yeah. No offense, no, it's not a criticism. It's better like that still. I'd rather live in a safe African country than in a corrupt, evil African country. You get me? But the problem with Gambia is they don't have no resources. Their population is small. You get me? Compare Egypt, Nigeria. Nigeria's got one of the biggest populations in the world. There's minimum 200 million black people or more. Because remember, some people live in the jungle and they don't even get counted on the you get me, that thing what they do, the survey. You know what I mean? What High Priest is talking about. Because they're so um primitive that they're in the jungle living life like that. You know what I mean? Don't even know what technology is. You know what I mean? But yeah, Gambia now. We're like, they said it from the get-go when you get on the plane or when you're touching down on the land. They say that Gambia is the smiling coast of Africa. But 90% of their income comes from tourism. Like they don't have no resources. It's a small um, colonized land from England, from Senegal. The only thing that's popping there is Senegambia. You know what I mean? And the tourism. That's how they make them the most money. You get me? But the problem with them, man, it's like it's expensive as well to set up shop. It's a big investment, and you're only making 6 months of money a year. You get me? Like you can do it part time. You get me? But Gambia is somewhere like you need to retire. It's like you're in semi-retirement. You know what I mean? Your minimum semi-retirement. So if you're trying to go out there, you're more looking to buy a house or build land and build a yard. You know what I mean? And then are you ready for no light, no electricity, dirty water, food poisoning, all them kind of business there? Not like you won't get used to it, but it's difficult. I remember when I was out there, I met a girl from Birmingham when I was out there. Like, I pre someone I would be real. Like, how can I explain it? Yeah, no, I'll tell you the story. I see her on the beach. You know, I pre someone. Oh, be chatting all the beautiful birds. So I chatted to her, talked to her, whatever. And then I asked her the next day, "Do you want to go out? You get me? Want to get some food, lunch, all them kind of thing, business there? You get me?" And the way she was chatting was like, "Oh, that the Gambians, they're all fraudsters. You get me? That they're con artists. You know what I mean? That they're just after your money. That they don't treat you right as a black person, but to the white man, they submit, bow down. You get me? Like certain things like that. That is difficult to buy property. It's difficult to make money. All this kind of business, and it's like the vibe that I got from her is like she was full of S word. You get me? And I'll be real, because I looked after this girl. She was asking man to buy her food. She was even asking man to give her money. The first day I met her, she's asking man, "Can you give me like £10 to survive? But I'll pay you back." And I'm like, "Bruv, you're not gonna pay me back. You're not getting no benefits. You're living here. You're not getting nothing. You know what I mean? You're like £10. You know, £10 goes a long way in Gambia. You get me? You can get a food. You can get a taxi. You can get bare things with £10. Trust me." So anyway, so she's telling man about this. She wants food. I buy her food. Then she asks man, "Can you buy my mum food?" I buy her mum food. Then it's like I tell her, "Oh, do you want to come out tonight?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll come out tonight. Yeah, as long as you look after me." All them kind of business there. And obviously man is balling out of control. Get me? Money's not an issue. All of that. You know what I mean?
And then it's like, more or less, she was using me as a crutch to survive. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you get it, it's not a problem. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in UK. You know what I mean? And what the way she was talking, it was like, I was like, why don't you come back to UK if you've had enough? And she was like, no, her mum want to go Jamaica. Like, they've had enough of Gambia, but they want to go Jamaica. And I'm like, why are you running away, like, from UK? Because the conclusion is, where we are right now in UK is the most stable country on the planet right now. That it's a blessing to be here. You get me, car? Some man, like it or not, yeah, are saying, they want to leave UK. But once they leave UK, they'll come running back to UK because, one, they've never been in the jungle. Two, they've never had malaria in the jungle. Three, they've never experienced not having electricity, no Wi-Fi, them kind of business there, no light. Four, like, it's harder out in Africa. You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy. Like, you got to know what you're doing. Like, you have to be prepared. You have to do your research. You have to carry a lot of cash and see if you can do the thing. And like what Ade from Hendon said, you need to be hands-on when you're doing the project. You cannot depend on local people to project manage a project that they've never had in their life. You know what I mean? But remember, them men are not clued up like us. You get me? Them men are simples. They don't know about industry. The thing about Gambia is, man, them are making money. Them Indian man, them Syrian man, them Lebanese man, they're making money out there through the tourism. But you get me? They got a big investment. They're carrying at least $1 million out there, and that's why they're gaining quick, because they got a bigger capital than us. But anyway, it's almost time up for the news and views. We're gonna do the prayer after the news and views. Got more time, that's what man came for. And if we've got time, we'll have an open question and answer session after the prayers. So stay tuned to Meta Science. You're done now, Meta Science. Let's go.
Amiga Radio, 104.1 FM. News and views around your community.
This is the Amiga Radio.co.uk news at 9. The woman who brought a successful civil case against Donald Trump says she feels fantastic about finally getting justice. E. Jean Carroll's described her legal victory as the happiest day of her life after a former US president was found guilty of sexually abusing her. He denies the claims and is appealing. Mark Lotter, a former special assistant to Donald Trump, thinks the case won't damage his political ambitions.
Every day, the Democrats, the liberals, the mainstream media in America wake up and think today is the day they get Donald Trump. And usually by the next day, he's even stronger than he was the day before.
Prince Harry is entitled to compensation after the publisher of the Daily Mirror ordered the unlawful gathering of information about him in 2004, but it denies other allegations of phone hacking. Two 18-year-olds who fatally stabbed a boy in a case of mistaken identity in West London have been given life sentences. They thought 16-year-old Rishmeet Singh was from a rival gang when they attacked him in a park in Southall in 2021. Speaking through an interpreter, Rishmeet's mum, Gulinda, says she's devastated.
They have taken a child away from her. He was a lovable boy, and I don't know what he has done wrong to anyone. That's why they have taken him away from me and therefore my life.
The Archbishop of Canterbury has criticised the government's legislation aimed at tackling migrant crossings. Justin Welby's told the House of Lords the bill has too many problems for just one speech. In sport, fierce rivals AC Milan and Inter Milan are going head-to-head in the Champions League semi-finals. They're just getting underway in the first leg at the San Siro, with the winner of their tie to face Manchester City or Real Madrid. And Spider-Man has swung by the Vatican to visit Pope Francis. It wasn't Peter Parker behind the mask, though, but a man named Mattia Bilardita, who visits paediatric hospitals in Italy to entertain young patients. That's the latest. I'm Kat.
Amiga, you're the thinking people station.
Omega does not support or condone any conspiracy theories regarding any aspect